And a very good morning to you all. I hope you guys are doing very well today. You're joining us on World This Morning with me, Maha Mukhtar, and Shazad Khan. Assalamu alaikum, Shazad.
Walaikum assalam. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
Absolutely perfect. The weather outside over here in Islamabad, ladies and gentlemen, is fantastic. And if you guys really want to skip a day of work, I think today is the day.
Well, you shouldn't skip because you all have to play your part in society and for the economy and everything and for your families. So, Shazad, what are we discussing today?
Okay, so, just because you very rightly mentioned that everybody needs to play their own role within the society and in economy as well. So now, obviously, all of those countries which have been developing and are developed by now is because of the fact that they have got immaculate or probably fantastic tax systems as well. Now, half of the time people over here within Pakistan, what they do is they say that, just because we do not get basic facilities, and they mean that, okay, the infrastructure is not proper, probably electricity shortages, and then, the health issues and education, they say, why do we have to pay the taxes?
Yes.
Well, if you're not paying the tax, you cannot complain.
No, exactly.
This is something which we really need to be clear about. And, for all those people who are actually willing to file their taxes, what they need to do is that they probably need to hire consultants, because half of the time people just do not know how to file their taxes as well.
It's a complicated procedure.
It is complicated, but then at the same time, a thing which is very important is that there are many loopholes within the tax systems as well. And now, I think it's a great initiative by the PMLN government that they came up with an idea that, okay, what we're going to do is that we're going to hold a symposium, and then we're going to call experts from outside the country as well, from within the country, and then we'll talk about all of these loopholes. Now, how does these tax reforms work? How are they beneficial for a country? How are they beneficial for the society? How do the civilians play their role? This is what we are discussing today.
Exactly. So today we have been joined by a senior revenue administration specialist. His name is Graham Burnett, and he is here to discuss what is the situation within Pakistan. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Okay, so Shazad, I'll let you ask.
Yes, okay. So now, before we get started with the actual conversation in tax and tax reforms, first of all, how did you fall into it? I mean, why do you think that you had an interest within the tax reforms? You have been all over the world. You've been, party officers, chief officer. You have had several designations, and you have been reforming tax policies and all of what it contains. Why did you fall into it?
Yeah, good question.
Thank you.
It's not a job that people often volunteer to start off with, and most people don't. It's not their first choice of job, but in my case, I ended up doing that job, and I've been doing that for 40 years now.
40 years.
40 years, great. So what is the situation, and why is it important that Pakistan is holding this symposium?
The situation now is that next Tuesday there's a one-day symposium being held at the Marriott.
Yeah.
This is being organised through the project, which is being funded by, run by Adam Smith International and funded by the British Aid Agency. And the purpose of this is to raise the issue of the need for further reform of the tax system in Pakistan.
Right.
Okay, but you have been here for 2 days now. I mean, have you actually been able to point out a few weaknesses within our tax system? Or you think that it's perfect, or the society needs to actually step up with that? Or
What do we need to be highlighting within Pakistan?
I think there are two parts to a tax system. The first part is what is the tax policy.
Okay.
This is primarily the responsibility of the Ministry of Finance, and this is focusing on the things like what taxes are there in the country, what tax rates should apply for those taxes, and what exemptions will be given. Those are sort of policy decisions that the government's prerogative to make. Then there is the second part, which is the tax administration, the actual running of the tax system, which of course is the primary responsibility of the FBR.
Okay.
And so there's two components in terms of when you're looking at tax systems is where is the best area to make reform? Is it in the policy or the administration? Generally speaking, for most countries, the problem is more in the administration than in the policy.
Right, okay. And so for your average citizen within Pakistan, what is it that they need to know? Because obviously they say if you don't pay your taxes, then you can't complain. So what should they be aware of? Their rights, or what should we know in Pakistan?
Yes. Citizens of the country are obliged to pay taxes. It's obviously part of the laws. The FBR has a taxpayer charter, which talks about the taxpayers' rights and their obligations.
Okay.
So the rights include things like the right to be respected, the right to be believed, and then obligations are, the requirement to complete tax forms, to pay your taxes on time,
Right.
those sort of things.
Okay, and now once the person has actually paid their taxes on time, they've done everything, the
What are we entitled to?
exactly the government then needs to, or the policies administration need to put it into place and make it more, implement the changes and make the systems better. But obviously you're here for a reason. We are falling short, as many countries are. So what do we need to do? So what happens?
What are the challenges we are
Yeah.
facing right now?
Sure. Looking at some of the information that I've seen in terms of website information, articles, analysis by other people that have reviewed the tax system here, one of the things that is clear is that the system here is complex,
Okay.
and many people say it's not very fair either.
Right.
Often there's a challenge, there's a conflict between having a system that's simple and a system that's fair.
Yeah.
Right.
But the worst is to have a system that's not simple and not fair. And so one of the things to look at is why is it complex, and where can it be improved?
Okay.
And that's why people like me come in to advise on it.
Okay, but then why does it happen? Why do you think that most of the time whenever, there's a tax reform or the tax body, if they're working, the other side does not agree that it's fair? I mean, why do you think that this happens, all of the times?
Sure.
Yeah.
One of the key things is that from the government point of view that received the taxes, they need to be telling the citizens what they've done with the taxes,
Yeah.
where the money has gone.
Right.
There needs to be some sort of explanation of what benefits have society in general got, whether it be infrastructure, health system, education system, whatever where the money has gone,
Okay.
so that they know they're getting something back
Right, okay.
for that. And often that linkage is not as explained as well as it could be.
Okay.
And that's an area that needs to be done in order to get a sort of a tax-paying culture, to get a ability so people feel that they are part of society and they're more prepared to voluntarily contribute.
No, but then
Okay.
quite a lot of times what they say is that a good tax system is actually one of the indicators that the country is growing. How do we relate it to our country as well? That okay, because the tax culture is coming up, they're taking initiatives, the symposiums taking place, but then half of the time when they make this statement that a good tax system will actually make your country grow, how does that work?
Yeah. One of the World Bank runs a series of indicators
Okay.
called the Doing Business Indicators across most countries in the world. There's 189 countries that they do this for. And they measure 10 different factors, including access to electricity, access to credit, and a range of other things, as though you're in business. One of those factors is the ease of paying taxes. Now, Pakistan, in its latest rankings, out of 189 countries, Pakistan was 171,
Okay.
all right, which is not good.
Okay.
All right? And so then you say, well, how do they measure that? What do you need to do to improve that? It's measured on the basis of a hypothetical medium-sized company operating in the largest city, Karachi, and on the basis of employing people and also having enough income that it has to pay the goods and services tax.
Okay.
Okay.
And so they do a measurement of how many tax payments has to be made each year by that company. In Pakistan, it's 47, right, during a year, right, of different sorts of payments, not
Okay.
just taxes, but pension contributions,
Direct
and so
indirect.
on. And so
Yeah.
on. And then, and so there's, as I said, there's 47 for Pakistan, which is high on world
Okay.
comparison. But so you have a look at that. Well, where are those made? Well, 12 of those are for social security contributions, 12 are pension contributions,
Okay.
12 for the goods and services tax because it's monthly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you say, well, if you're going to make a big improvement of those numbers, you've got to deal with those areas.
Okay.
So what we suggest is things like merging the collection process for employers.
Right.
If employers have got to pay pension contributions, social security contributions, employee wages, PAYE,
Yeah.
Yeah.
why not have that done as one process for each month? So it's 12 times a year rather than, in this case,
Just once a year.
24 or one. So once a month,
Once a month.
rather than have to do that for two or three different purposes.
All right.
Secondly, with the goods and services tax, why does it have to be monthly? For your large payers, it should stay monthly, but for the majority of your small and medium people that have to pay goods and services tax, you can make it quarterly.
Okay.
All right? so that it doesn't have. So you can reduce the impact it has.
Okay.
Okay.
Right? So that's sort of one example. The other thing they measure is the how much time does it take to complete all these forms and your obligations.
Yeah.
And in Pakistan, it's estimated 594 hours a year spent complying with all your obligations. But 514 of those hours relate to the goods and services tax. And that's because of the complexities of that, because it's spread between the federal level in terms of goods
Yeah.
and the provinces in terms of services.
Okay.
But how can this entire system be made a bit simple? Because
Yeah,
half of the
it's
time,
complicated.
whenever you are, supposed to file for your taxes, you actually have to go to a consultant, sit with them for like 2-3 days, because you haven't done anything so far.
Yeah.
So for all of those people who are making up their minds on, okay, let's just file our taxes and we want our country to grow as well, but then they just get confused in between. So can't it be a bit more simpler? Can that be a reform?
Yes, what we want people to, what we want countries to get to is a situation where most people will voluntarily pay and are able to do so without even talking to a tax official.
Yeah.
And the way you do that is through your website, through the information on the website, through the guides, through people being able to electronically file the tax returns, electronically pay,
Yeah.
so that simplifies the process, and that people, the information is already there for them to complete that information automatically.
That's great, like all these technological advancements to simplify the system, but within a developing country with like Pakistan, when you have majority of rural community as well, how are we going to do that? Because not everyone has access to the internet or electronic systems or can read and write. So how do we work around those issues?
Right. One of the big issues in Pakistan is there is a big informal economy.
Yes.
And perhaps over time it's actually getting bigger. People don't want to be in the tax system and they would rather be outside it. And so one of the things is how do you deal with the obligation of people that are in the informal economy, and how you deal with that. My personal view on that is you need to have a simple system for your smallest businesses and your smallest taxpayers. And at the smallest level that needs to be a flat amount of tax. All right, so there's no calculations. You don't have to keep records. People don't have records in the informal sector mostly.
Yeah.
And that and it's a nominal amount, maybe paid every quarter or something like that.
Right.
All the taxpayer has to do is pay a certain amount.
Right.
All the tax office has to do is check that you've got a receipt.
Okay.
That's simple.
That's very simple.
But that's at the bottom end of the scale. Obviously, at the top end of the scale, you need full books and records.
Of course.
And in between, you have some sort of a turnover tax,
Exactly.
Okay.
where you only have based on turnover.
And then what do we mean by a tax return as well? Because half of the time I've seen people that they've paid their taxes and they get a check back as well. What is that? Because we are employees. Okay, even though we are contractual employees, but there's 17% of our salaries being deducted from within our checks as well. And so we obviously do not have a choice to say yes or no, it's already done.
Yeah.
But now for all those people who file their taxes, how do they get their return and why do they get it?
Okay, in most countries, including Pakistan, the payment from employees in terms of their taxes is looked after by the employer.
Okay.
They withhold on the employee's behalf and pay taxes on their behalf. Many countries organise their tax system so that the employees don't actually have to complete a tax return, and only in those situations where maybe people have had more than one job, or that there may be some situations where you do need to file, or it's voluntary. People can file, employees can file if they think they might be entitled to a refund or something like that.
Okay.
Okay, so then at the same
Pretty
time,
straightforward.
now what I wanted to ask was that half of the time, we do talk about the tax system, we do talk about the tax reforms, and then what I want to know is what is actually the connection between eradicating inequalities and a good tax system? I mean, is there a connection in between that, for example, if you want to get rid of inequalities,
Like
you have to have a
poverty.
good tax system?
Yes.
Does that work?
Yes, this is where the sort of policy question comes in. Obviously, a flat tax, for example, is often seen as not fair, because there are obviously some people that have more assets, more income than others. And so therefore you tend to have, like when the income taxes, you have progressive taxes, so the more you earn, the higher you pay, in both percentage terms and absolute terms.
Yeah.
So to try and do that. On the other hand, you have, indirect taxes like the goods and services tax, which everyone has to pay,
Yeah.
which are often seen as fairer because there are less exemptions, people are in the system. Everyone has to buy things, rather than their income, you can get all sorts of exemptions or
Yeah.
whatever. So often it's seen as fairer, but also it's often also seen as more difficult on the poor.
Okay.
So therefore there often will be some exemptions for basic things like food and stuff like that
Right, okay.
in a system.
All right, and now, since, at the start of the show you mentioned that most of the time it's the administration which is not working properly. The tax system is cool, policies are in place, but all of those people who are there to handle all of these systems, they're not actually that efficient. So now, what loopholes do you basically identify within an administration arena?
Yeah, I think when you have a look at the website and information of FBR, there is a lot of information on there. Sometimes it's a bit hard to find your way around the different parts, but the information is quite a lot of the information is there to help people that do want to comply. What needs to be focused on is those people that aren't in the system,
Yes.
the people that aren't complying, the people that haven't completed their obligations, that haven't paid, that may have amounts owing and haven't paid that. And there are ways to improve the efficiency of that, and the audit process for those that do want to check in a bit more detail. There are ways to improve all of those. So, to be fair to those that are paying voluntarily, paying their share, there needs to be a focus on making sure you chase up the people that aren't paying their fair share.
Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's easy for the FBR to continue to tackle the same people all the time. These are the people that will pay,
Yeah.
and leave the hard ones for another time.
No, but then at the same time, don't you think that the entire body actually needs to keep a very amazing sort of check on their employees as well, because this is a very lucrative field for all those people who are tax officers. They get away with quite a lot of benefits. I'm sorry,
How
it is
about
a generic
what about
statement.
the check and balance.
Yeah, it is a very generic statement, but then at the same time, you need to have a good check and balance system of your own employees who work within the FBR department as well.
Sure.
So how do we do that? Because that's quite hard.
Yes. The FBR does have units within the organisation to check on allegations of improper behaviour by their staff. What they need to do is, of course, publicise the results of those, not the details of the individuals, but at least the results of, we've done so many checks, to give some sort of assurance to the taxpayers at large that there are checks and balances, that there are processes being followed.
Yeah.
So that people know that they can have more trust in the FBR than they might otherwise have.
Okay.
Very nice. And before we wrap up the segment, one last thing which I wanted you to convey to all our amazing viewers who are out there. How much can they add on to the growth of their country by just paying their taxes? Some key factors.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure. Certainly, we would encourage citizens to meet their obligations.
Yeah.
But the government has to do its part to make sure that it deserves, that it actually has the right, that the people feel comfortable to do that.
Okay.
Rather than they see this as money just goes somewhere, disappears somewhere, we don't know where it goes.
Okay, exactly. So basically, you need to see the fruits of where the money is going to. So you need to see the government doing the work and everything in order for people to pay.
Great, that is. Thank you very much for
Thank you so
coming
much.
over. It was an amazing experience to be actually talking about tax.
Yeah, it was
Because,
fantastic.
we are taxpayers. We are proud taxpayers. And ladies and gentlemen, it's not about whether, this is what you're getting or not. The thing is that if we'll get together, we'll start doing it together, I think our country will grow. And this is how countries grow as well. So please make sure that you play your role as a civil within the society.
Great. And with that, we're going to go for a short break. But when you come back, we're going to kickstart your weekend.
That's
Stay
something
tuned.
else.
Thank you.
you.
是蓝天救援队的队长。我们蓝天救援队是一个志愿者的组织，成立于2007年，成员是15000人左右。我们参与的大型的就是汶川的救援、玉树的救援，国内近几年的大型的救援活动基本上都参加。我的梦想是蓝天救援队出现在国际救援的舞台上，体现我们大国的责任，体现出我们中国志愿者的一种责任。
Let's visit heaven, a heaven whose next generation will be blind. Come, let's visit Kashmir. This is the future generation of Kashmir, laying on hospital beds, blinded. A weapon called pellet gun is blinding the people of Kashmir, mostly teens and children. Young teens have lost their hopes. They see no future now. Who were these rebels and who did this to them? Is demanding freedom a crime? Every victim thinks. They too had seen dreams, but now their life is dark. The pellets have pierced their eyes, leaving them in despair. Not able to see the world, they are suffering mental agony and pain. With their families shattered, hopes lost, and wet eyes, they're scared to face the world because the oppressors may catch them. The children have lost their childhood, their fantasies. Their mothers are wailing, sitting beside them in hospital beds. These blooming buds will unfortunately have to live a life of misery. The dwellers of heaven are bearing the pain that of hell. But Almighty, no one can suppress these rebellions. Every second hour, pellets rupture and I hear. More than 664 people are hit in the eyes since the uprising and are still counting. This is the heaven Kashmir, yelling out to the world. When cruelty makes flow blood streams, O people, thou shalt witness and tell. It can withstand even an ocean of screams when heaven is turned into a living hell.
是04年来到北京，刚开始自己买个自行车，每天到国贸那边去领件，跑到南四环那边去送，干了有1年多吧。这公司有一个调整，就直接把北京站、金宝街这一大块直接承包了。其实我最初来北京的时候，我没有说怀揣什么梦想，但是等着一步一步走过来，争取能自己注册一个公司，为外地的一些人谋取一个职业，换一种生活方式。
In rural
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And for everybody who's tuned into PT World and PTV Global, you are watching World This Morning alongside Shahzad and Maha. And today, earlier, on the show, we were talking about tax reforms. There's a symposium being held by the government, and it's an initiative by the British Aid as well. And what we are trying to do is that we are trying to come up with tax reforms where everybody actually gets to pay their taxes so that the country grows.
Exactly, and it's not just about getting people to pay their taxes. It's about seeing where your taxes are going and actually seeing that it's actually working for something. Because if you see that the money is going for something good, then you're more willing to pay it.
And life is not just about paying taxes.
No.
Life is about enjoying yourself.
Exactly.
Life is all about being on the mountains. Life is all about being in the hills. Life is all about being on planes. Life is all about traveling, adventure, music, dance.
Exactly.
And when we say that we'll get your weekend started, we have got somebody over here in the studios who's a superstar, and he's been here in Pakistan quite a lot of times. This time he'll be performing tomorrow, which is 24th. Where, what, when, why? These are the questions we'll ask.
Exactly. So we have been very lucky. We've been joined by DJ Kantik. Hello, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming back.
Thank you.
And welcome to Pakistan again.
Thank you.
Besides DJ Kantik, we've been joined by Arsalan Zamir, who will be translating for us as well.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Arsalan. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much, guys, for coming over. So, Arsalan, first of all, how do you say your salam in Turkish?
It's the same. It's
Yeah.
Urdu.
It's salam.
It's like, yeah.
That's it. Or
But
how are you?
It's they say it's salamun alaikum.
Salamun alaikum.
Yeah. Salamun alaikum. And
Okay,
Alright.
yeah.
Great. Okay, so
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
That's great.
Okay, so let's get the conversation started. So you're back in Pakistan. How come you're back, and why are we so lucky to have you
Pakistan'a
again?
geri döndün. Ne için geldin? Konser falan.
Aha, Pakistan'da şu anda bizim moda haftası, moda şovu var.
Pak-
Onunla birlikte sahne alacağız, yer alacağız.
There's a fashion show that's to be organized tomorrow, and he's a part of that. And
Artı bu etkinliğin bir de benim için önemli olan kısmı bu uyuşturucuya hayır kampanyası vesaire. Çünkü bizim sektörümüz bu tarz şeylerle kirlenmekte. Ben bunlardan hoşlanmıyorum. Buna da destek olmak istedim.
the added bonus for him is that they are working with an NGO and they are promoting a drug-free environment in Pakistan, and that's very close to his heart because the type of music he plays is always associated with drugs. And people say that you enjoy this music when you're taking drugs. So
Okay.
he's totally against that. He doesn't do any drugs, and
Okay,
so
so
That's
you're here to
great, that's
promote a healthier, idea of the whole music. Excellent. So, since the last time you were in Pakistan, what have you been up to?
en son geldiğinden beri ne yaptın yani uluslararası iş alanında?
En son geldiğimden beri Türkiye'de yine bizim konserlerimiz oluyor. Onun dışında Arnavutluğa gittik. En son yine Makedonya'da vardı. Skopje, Makedonya. Ayrıyetten Casablanca, Morokko, Marrakeş konserlerimiz İtalya'da olacak şimdi yine. Devam ediyoruz böyle.
So since he's been to Pakistan, he went to Marrakesh, Casablanca. He went to Macedonia. There were concerts in Turkey as well. So he's been to quite a lot of places. Now next month he's going to Italy. He's got a concert in Italy as well.
That's great and
Excellent.
amazing it is. But then at the
Jealous.
same time, what I wanted to ask was that, every time when he's in Pakistan, he just goes viral within Pakistan. Where contacts here, get the passes, do this, do that. So his popularity has actually gone miles away in Pakistan because of the fact that people are just loving him. What does he really think? Why do they love him? Is it just the music?
Pakistan'da her geldiği zamanda en son seferden daha fazla insanlar seni
Evet.
yapıyorlar. Ve bunu ne diyorsun? Niye insanlar?
Bunun ben dinleyicilerimle birebir iletişim kuruyorum. Mesela bana yazan oldu mu ya da buluşmak isteyen oldu mu sen de biliyorsun. Bunlarla birebir görüşmemiz oluyor. Şimdi bunlar da bizim adımızı çokça söylemiş oluyor. Kitle artıyor böyle. Bunu ben şeye bağlıyorum. Onlarla birebir iletişim halinde olmaya bağlıyorum. Yani kimseyi geri çevirmiyorum. Herkesin selamını alıyorum. Günümün bir kısmını onlara yazmakla geçiriyorum. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Please continue. We're waiting.
Yeah, it's
We're waiting.
I hope you do not miss out on anything though.
No, he's very good. He's very good.
Yeah. Actually, he's saying that he's one-on-one his most of his listeners. Whenever they write to him on his page, he tries to reply to all of them. He is in constant contact with them. Whenever he comes to Pakistan or anywhere he goes, if he's sitting somewhere, he doesn't mind people coming up to him, talking to him, and taking pictures with him. So the one-on-one thing, he thinks that is the thing that affects.
That's actually
Yeah.
very good.
Okay, so then the majority of the fan base, is it males or females?
Yani en fazla
You have to have the
kişiler-
cheeky questions on the
Right.
front.
Yeah, it's all right. Why not? Why not?
Yani senin dinleyicilerden fazlası erkekler mi kadınlar mı?
Valla görüştüklerim genelde bayan oluyor ama
Erkekler
de var.
Normally most of them are girls, but yeah, there are guys as well.
Obviously, then you would love to reply to all of them.
Tabii ki yani o zaman herkese cevap vermek seversin.
Cevab and messages. That's how I understood those
Cevab,
two.
yes.
Okay, great. Now, when you're performing in Pakistan, how is it as you're performing anywhere else in the world? Is it just as exciting
Or are
and
we
fun?
still learning?
Pakistan'da çaldığında da yurt dışında çaldığında fark mı ama yoksa?
tabii yani ülkeye de göre çaldığımız müzikler değişiyor. Burada popüler olan parçalardan ben kombine ediyorum. Mesela İtalya'da en popüler parçalar ne? Ona benzer parçalar. Yine her ülkede ayrı ayrı oluyor ama araya kendi prodüksiyonlarımı, üretimleri kombine ediyorum. Öyle daha güzel oluyor.
And when he comes to Pakistan, he plays the music that is popular over here, and that is the kind of music that is close to the Pakistani music. When he goes to, for example, Italy, he plays music that is closer to their what they like.
Okay.
They have different choices, so he's making his own remixes for the particular countries. Playing it
Okay, but
like
then
that.
half of the time
Pretty good.
when a DJ plays, that means that he's going to play live. He's going to mix live as well. Now, half of the time, with our local DJs, what they do is that they play their sets and that's it, and they say that, okay, you know, see, we're such good DJs. So just ask him, is it like very difficult to play live, or is it not? Why do people do that? That, you know, they'll come up with their own set, just click the button, play, and then act all day. All right, yeah, come on.
Yeah, normally Pakistan'da DJ'ler %50'si işte şey yapıyorlar, canlı yapıyorlar. Diğerisi de kayıtta şey yapıyorlar.
Tamam.
Sen de canlı canlı çalarken bir
मेरा एक्शन भी करके दिखाना.
dikkatli çekiyor çekiyor musun? Yani zorluk çekiyor musun? Ya da işte burada geldiği de kayıt yapıyorlar, basıyorlar, bir düğme basıyorlar, işte
Yok.
şey yapıyorlar insanlar.
Ben onu 15 yıldır yaşamadım. Yaklaşık 15 yıldır yaşamadım. Zaten dinleyici, DJ'lik demek yani karşında kitleyi gördüğünde onun senden ne istediğini anlamak demek. Ya orada o psikolojiye sahip olmak gerekiyor. Bir görüşte ona ne gider, ne yer diye hissetmek lazım. Ona göre çalınca zaten karşı tarafa nokta atış yapmış oluyorsun.
So he's saying that he's been doing this for 15 years now, and the major part of being a DJ is that, you know, when you're looking at your audience, you judge their reaction, what they want, and you change your music according to that. If they are, if they are in the mood, you change the music according to the mood.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's saying that's important. So that's why it's always important to play live.
Okay, and then most of the times what happens on these electronic dance music festivals is that, you know, when people are actually having fun, they'll come up to the DJ straight away and they'll be like, oh, please play something nice, or
Request.
probably, you know, please play this song. How do you feel about it? Do you really feel about doing that or not?
Şimdi böyle festivallarda, böyle konserlerde yani
was
çok
requesting
eğlendiği
from
zaman
DJs.
insanlar sana gelip de işte sipariş veriyorlar. Yani işte böyle bir şey çal, böyle çal. O zaman ne diyorsun sen onlara?
Öyle bir şey denk gelmiyor. Yani denk gelirse de elimde varsa çalıyorum ama bayağı kaç yıldır denk gelmedi yani istek
Yeah.
parça.
He's saying that, you know, most of the time if somebody requests something and it matches with what he's doing at the moment, he does play. But normally that's what happens only in Pakistan. Nobody comes up to DJ when DJ is playing. Nobody gets on the stage.
Yeah.
Nobody's allowed.
And
on
over
the
here,
stage.
almost 50 people are on the stage and they keep on coming back as well. Now this one, please this one, please this one,
Yeah.
this song.
Okay.
Ya bir
interesting.
de insanlar artık şey yani istek yani bildiği parçaları değil DJ'lerden bilmediği veya sırf DJ'yi dinlemeye gidiyor. DJ ne yapacak diye onu bekliyor. O daha tatlı oluyor zaten. Onun farkında artık insanlar.
Normally, what happens is people go to these concerts to listen to the songs that they have not heard before. They go there to listen to the DJ, not just a particular song. So abroad, when people go to a concert, they prefer to to let the DJ do their thing. So
Okay. So over here we are still learning.
Yeah, people, please, you know, if you're going on the 24th, which you should, I mean, you should go, you
Don't
should check
approach
it out
the
as
DJ
well.
booth.
Please, just don't be on the stage. They think that it's cooler to be on the stage, wear your shades and just look around or gaze around. Okay, yeah, you know, we're with the DJ. But it's, I mean, obviously it's a
Shouldn't
big
be
deal.
on the stage looking.
But, you know, let him work. I mean,
Yeah.
he's here to perform.
Okay.
and he, he doesn't mind people taking
After-
selfies with him, but he says that, you know, when I'm performing, at least let me just
Yeah.
have some space. Even then, he doesn't mind when
Yeah.
people come and
Believe
come
you
on the
me,
stage.
nobody minds taking selfies with anybody else, to be honest.
So obviously catering the music to each country that you go to, each of the crowds, it gets quite complicated. So how do you make sure you keep up with all the music, and how do you keep it fresh?
Yeah,
in
how do
you?
you do your own research then?
Yeah, how do you keep it fresh? in you?
Ülkeye göre müzik değiştirmek çok zor bir şey oluyor normalde sen.
Evet.
Sen nasıl bunu araştırıyorsun, nasıl araştırıyorsun?
Zaten ben günde 4 saat uyku uyuyorum. Bunun diğer şeyleri benim 4 saatimin diğer zamanı hep benim işimle geçiyor. İnternetten araştırma, o ülkede neler çıkmış yeni. Bunları araştırma, forum sitelerinin çoğuna bazen bazı sitelere giriyorum, üye olmaya bir bakıyorum üyemişim zaten. Yani böyle 4 saatin dışında sürekli ben araştırma içerisinde geçiyorum zaten.
So he's saying that he only sleeps like around 4 hours a day. So the rest of the time he spends, you know, on the internet searching what new songs have come up in that particular country. And most of the time when he's going to different forum sites to look for these things, I try to register, and then he finds out that he's already registered over there. So he's doing his research whenever he's going to some country. he looks for the songs that
Okay,
you know,
and
are popular.
especially within, because you do all sorts of genres mixed, but it's known as electro dance.
And tribal.
And tribal.
Yeah,
and
tribal's quite
all
famous
these
in
things.
Pakistan.
But the thing is, how do you keep it fresh and new though? Because there's so many people out there and there's such a, can be such a generic sound which people will copy. How do you keep it different?
Because I almost have like 200 songs in SoundCloud, and now I just don't hear them. So I just feel like probably deleting them again and continuing to get my list done.
Yeah.
I've got 4,000 songs. Şimdi senin değişik tarzda
like
müzik
60.
tarzda müzik yapıyorsun. Bunu nasıl her yeni yaptığın parça nasıl tarzda yapıyorsun? Yani yeni parça nasıl yapıyorsun? Yani eski bir şey olmasın diye. Çünkü diğer çevremde insanlar da şey yapıyorlar. Bunu generikten dışarı nasıl çıkartıyorsun?
Yani aynı tarzda
Olmasın.
yapmadan
Ha.
nasıl mı yapıyorsun? Bu ruh haliyle mesela o gün çok duygusalım ben. Mesela duyguluyum. Eski bir arkadaşımı gördüm vesaire. O gün mesela breakdown kısımları, drop değil de breakdown kısımlarını böyle duygusal yapıyorum. İnsanlar böyle sallansın yavaştan. Daha sonrasından o duyguya eklenti olsun diye hareketlendirme yapıyorum. Zaten ben hep aynı tarz gitmeyi sevmiyorum. Mombahton yapıyorum. Arada yavaşlatıyorum. 90'lara düşüyorum parçayı. Arada 128'lere çıkartıyorum vesaire. Dinleyicilerim benim böyle alıştı müziklerime. Böyle devam ediyoruz.
So he's saying that whenever he's making music, the mental condition or what he's feeling at that time, it's very important. If, for example, if he met an old friend, so he makes a very emotional sort of a song. When he's making the changes in the beats, he puts some emotion.
Was that an old friend
Huh?
when he did like this?
No, that's like when that's the
nice.
music. That's the kind of music that he changes.
Okay.
That people just enjoy themselves a little
Yeah, more
bit.
slow.
Yeah. So and he's making Mombatan sort of music that well. He's making the beats change. He's taking it to 128 beats and dropping them to
The tempo.
90. Yeah, the tempo is changing, and for that, when he does that, people are used to it now. That's what they expect from him. So he tries to make it different every time.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
I mean, that's
Interesting.
quite great. But then at the same time, just, what I wanted to ask him and which I was very interested in was, for somebody who belongs to a Muslim country, becomes a DJ over there 15 years ago, how was it? Was it well received by his family at the first place that, okay, you want to become a DJ, go ahead, become a DJ or not, or what? What were the challenges he faced within his career?
Bir Müslüman ülkeden geldiğin birisinin,
Evet.
yani sen şey yaptın, 15 seneden bunu yapıyorsun. Aile nasıl karşılaştı bunu? Ne dedi? Yani senin destekli mi oldu yoksa ne
Evet.
yapıyorsun gibi?
Ya benim okuduğum okul, sukul, denizcilik, kaptanlık. Ben ilk Pakistan'a geldiğimde askerdeyken gelmiştim okulumdan ötürü. Ailem ilk başta istemedi. Yani benim kaptan olmamı istedi, gemi kaptanı olmamı istedi. Şimdi güzel paralar kazanınca, yani herkese faydalı olunca, ailem insanlar tarafından sevildiğimi de görüyor. Hiç ummadık anda değişik ülkelerden mesela eve hediyeler geliyor, ziyaretler oluyor vesaire. Onlar da gurur duyuyor, insanlar bahsediyor. Ailemin daha sonrasında işlerimin daha iyi olmasından sonra bir desteği oldu. Ama ondan önce ailem istemiyordu.
So his education is basically background is from Navy. He was studying to be a captain. So in the beginning, his family did not liked it. They were like, "What are you doing?" But then he started earning some money. He started earning respect, and people started sending him gifts from abroad. People used to visit his home out of a blue. They just used to come up to him, and so that's why when the family saw it, they felt proud of him. They said, "Okay, you're doing good, so keep on doing it."
But just tell him that, he's still the captain of the ship. And the difference is that this ship does not sink.
Sen hala gemi kaptansın ve bu gemi hiçbir zaman batmaz.
Oh, great. Okay, so now with all the new, you want to ask anything?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I just wanted to say, let's just ask about the event which is happening
Yeah.
tomorrow and any passes, and for everybody who wanted to join the Karthik on the event because he's got followers as well. how can they contact, what is the event about, and then where can we get the tickets from, if that information we do have it.
Well, there's a Facebook page that you can get the tickets from. It's about.
There's not much promotion going on within the country as of yet, but
no,
everybody
there's-
knows it. I mean, who loves EDMs, they know it.
Yeah, Kantik has become, the face of the event.
Yeah.
Everybody is associating the event with it, but there's more to it than just Kantik.
Exactly.
And it's basically a fashion show. We've got different artists performing as well. We've got Rosen Band coming in. We've got, Sonu Dangerous, and there's a fashion show going on. Then there's NGO involvement as well. Like I said, drug-free. They're promoting drug-free environment. So it's got a lot of things, and for the tickets you can go online and search for it. It's available on Facebook. The contacts are there.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. And you can go through DJ Contic's Facebook page as well,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
the information
Yeah,
is all
it's
there.
there.
It's all over
And I
social
hope,
media.
I honestly do not want to give them a bad news as well, but I hope it's not just for couples.
No, I don't think so. It's
Good
not.
news, guys. I mean,
Well,
be there.
we don't think so. We're not sure. So do
Yeah.
check the Facebook
No,
page before you
it
go.
says single over there, so I'm pretty sure
Okay.
that it's got single passes and it's got couples passes. So
Okay,
I'm pretty-
have a look before
Yeah,
you
yeah.
make the thing, because then you don't want to be disappointed. But anyway, okay. Now, in regards to today, because you're not the only person playing, how are you going to take the set? How are you going to get people going?
Yani bu konserde sayı sen çalmıyorsun, başka insanlar da var. Bunu nasıl şey yapacaksın?
Bunda bir şey yok yani. Herkes görevini yapacak. Organizasyon zaten tek kişili olan bir şey değildir. Bunun içinde güvenliği var. İşte background'da olan insanlar var. Benden önce bir sanatçı muhakkak olacak yani. İlla ben olacağım diye bir kaide yok. Benden sonra da muhakkak olacak. Orada herkes görevini iyi yapacak. İnsanlar eğlenecek, hoşuna gidecek. Önemli olan zaten iyi hizmet vermek gelenlere.
The important part is giving them a good show, and they are definitely going to be other performers over there. And if everybody does their work right, it doesn't bother him much.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Okay,
Excellent.
so one last thing which he would love to say to all of his followers out there, all of those people who are actually watching us on their television screens for tomorrow's event, is there something special, a surprise, something he's going to give us which is going to be bigger than the previous time?
Yarın konserle ilgili insanlara bir mesaj vermek istiyorsun. Yani bir sürpriz ya da bir yeni bir şey.
İnsanlara şöyle bir mesaj verebilirim. Yani eğleneceklerini unutmasınlar. Çok güzel bir eğlence olacağını söylüyorum. Birlikte eğleneceğiz. Ben zaten şahsım da eğlenmiş olacağım sahne alırken. Buna ortak olmalarını istiyorum.
He said he just wants people to enjoy it, and he tries to make people enjoy it, and he wants them. Well, he's going to enjoy himself over there as well, because when he's playing the music, he enjoys it himself, and he wants people to share that happiness and the joy with him.
Very
Great,
nice.
excellent. Well, best of luck for tomorrow. Thank you so much for being
Thank
here
you.
today, and I hope it goes really well. No doubt it will. But guys, I hope you enjoyed the show. So in the beginning, we told you about your rights and what you can do with your taxes and what good you can do for the
Yeah.
nation. But then we also gave you something to do for the weekend.
And then, it's a great initiative that they came up with an idea that they're associating EDM with a drug-free country. I mean, that's the best idea, I think, and this is what we need to do. So for all of those people who are the promoters or the initiators of this, great job done.
Exactly, because you can have fun and in a safe way as well. So do look after yourselves, have fun, behave, make it good for everyone. And with that, do log on to our Facebook fan page,
Which is with the name of World This Morning.
our Twitter page,
World This Morning without a G.
our Daily Motion and YouTube page,
World This Morning once again.
and the repeat is at
11, and we won't even mind. I mean, if you see us there and you want to take selfies with us, it's all right, man.
Have a wonderful weekend. We will see you bright and early on Monday.
Till the next time, 1, 2, 3.
Good
Good
morning.
morning. Thank you.